Hey everyone, another Tuesday tips video about what's just been going through my mind lately about photography and lenses. And this is one lens I think we really do need to talk about. So if you're new to photography and you're looking for the best lens, a lot of people will usually suggest the affordable 50 1.8 lens or a really expensive lens that probably doesn't fit your photography needs and it is probably just really expensive too. And this lens is what I would recommend over the 50 1.8 lens. It's either the 17 to 50 2.8 lens or the full frame lens, the 24 to 70 f4. I'm just talking specifically about Nikon cameras, but I believe Canon or Sony does have the 24 to 70 f4 or a variant of it. Either way, if you have a full frame camera, the 24 to 70 f4 or the f2.8 would be the equivalent of this lens right here, the 17 to 50 2.8. The 17 to 50 2.8 is made for crop sensor cameras. So just make sure you have that in mind when you're looking at two of these lenses, and I'll make sure in this video throughout that I'll make sure to note which one, because when I was just starting out, it was difficult for me to figure out which lens was a full frame lens and which lens was a crop sensor lens. And it's a lot of photography jargon. For me, it just comes naturally, but let me know in the comments if you do get confused about the photography terms. So I think these lenses are perfect for beginners too. And here are 4 reasons why I think you should get one, and nearly every professional photographer has one in their collection or in their bag. Number 1, these lenses cover the most useful focal lengths. These lenses give you a very versatile range, which makes them perfect for any sort of photography situation, especially for events or if you're walking around town or on vacation. They're great for portraits, landscapes, and travel. Plus, you won't be switching out the lenses too, especially if you're carrying multiple lenses with you, or if you're deciding on what lenses to bring. Personally, I love using my 24 to 70 when I go on trips. I brought mine to Colorado with me, and I had that lens stuck on my Nikon Z6 and my Z50 for most of the trip too. So this says a lot because I love using my 35 art prime and my 28mm f2.8 prime lens. So using that 24 to 70 was super versatile, especially when I was hiking and walking around and enjoying the Pikes Peak limited oxygen up there. So I really do enjoy the 24 to 70 and just how versatile it was. Number 2, they're perfect for learning photography. If you're a seasoned professional photographer, I think you already know what lenses you need to get the photos you want. But if you're a new photographer, I'm speaking to the new photographers, someone that just bought a $1,000 crop sensor camera and you're looking for a lens to really learn photography, the 17 to 50 and the 24 to 70, these are the lenses that I would highly recommend. And remember, as I said earlier, the 17 to 50 is a crop sensor lens and the 24 to 70 is a full frame lens. But the 24 to 70, you can use that on a crop sensor. So both of these lenses will help you learn composition, framing, and depth of field without getting too complicated. And if you have a crop sensor camera, I'll explain why the 17 to 50 2.8 is better than the 18 to 55 you have. The wider the aperture, the f2.8 right there, the wider that is, the better it is for low light. That's why so many photographers recommend the f2.8 lens, because it has a bigger aperture. The f2.8 aperture lets in a lot more light, making it easier to take photos in lower light situations. Whereas if you have the 18 to 55, the aperture changes if you're zooming in and out. So with the 17 to 50 f2.8, and the aperture stays the same when you're zooming in and out like this. So if you want that blurry background, the 17 to 50 f2.8 lens is one lens that will help you get that blurry background compared to the 18 to 50 lens. And to add, that 17 to 50 lens makes it easier to practice photography in low light situations and practice bokeh with portraits. It's one of the reasons why I will always recommend the 17 to 50 f2.8 lens for learning photography. Number 3, they're lightweight and easy to carry around. Both of these versatile lenses are compact and lightweight, which makes it perfect for traveling or street photography. For example, if you're going to Disney World or hiking, it won't hurt your hands or shoulders as much after a day's worth of just walking around. Plus, they're easier to handle versus the bigger zooms that you would have to carry as well. Last but not least, reason number 4, better image quality. These zoom lenses can give you better sharpness in your pictures and better image quality, especially if you know what your camera settings are. These lenses are optically better than the 18 to 55. As you can see here, between the two, the 1750 is bigger than the 18 to 55, but not by much. As I said earlier, if you are a new photographer and you are looking for the best lens for photography, especially for a good price, these zoom lenses are excellent to start out with, and I would still highly recommend getting them. They're versatile, sharp, and they're perfect for most photography situations. If you're at a family event or a party or somewhere where you need that zoom, that really versatile zoom range lens, these two lenses are what I would recommend. And even better, I think you can find these for a pretty good deal in the used market. Most of my lenses are used and I've had no issues with them. Just make sure you read the condition they're in so you don't get scammed too. I personally wouldn't recommend marketplace like Facebook Marketplace, but if they're local, check it out in person because, so for example, I was gonna pick up a 24 to 70 f2.8 G lens for my Nikon cameras. Thankfully, the guy was local and we did meet up halfway, but when I was, looking over it, the seller said the zoom was fine. But when I looked at it, it was, from 24 to 35, I think. It was a little tough, which isn't a good sign for that lens. That means the autofocus is gonna go bad or something is gonna break inside. So 24 to 35, it was a little rough. And then from 35 to 70, it was really nice, felt normal. But when you try to go back from 35 to 24, it wasn't in the best condition. I mean, they did price it in pretty good price range. It was $250, but I'm not gonna make that chance for $250 for that lens, even though it is a really amazing lens. So just make sure you read the condition that it's in. There are 3 websites that I trust to buy used equipment from. That's KEH, Adorama, and B&H. Those 3 websites I've had pretty good experiences with, especially with their description of the used equipment they have. So if you're on a budget and you really want to learn more about photography, these are the lenses I would highly recommend you get before you move on to the 50 1.8 or a 35 1.8 lens or another lens that you might not even like. I know in the past I did suggest the 35 1.8 GTX for Nikon users, but now I would have rather suggested these zoom lenses, especially now that they're cheaper. You can find the 35 1.8 GTX for under $100. That's why I suggest it. But for some people, $100 is a lot. But I would still highly recommend if you can spend at least $150 on these zoom lenses, it's gonna be a lot better. Just because these zoom lenses are versatile. It's f2.8 or f4. And you can just bring it everywhere you want with you, because with the prime lenses like the 35 1.8 GTX, you cannot zoom, so you are stuck at that 35mm focal length. So if you have either of those lenses, let me know your experiences with them. Let me know which one you would get too. I know that the 17 to 50 f2.8 is for crop sensors, and it's going to be cheaper than the full frame 24 to 70s, but these are the 2 lenses I would highly recommend, especially if you're just starting out, because I've been seeing a lot of videos about photographers suggesting the f1.8 lenses, the f1.4, f1.2 prime lenses, and I feel like that's just extremely overkill for a new photographer. For these Tuesdays tips, it's just something that goes through my mind when I have conversations with someone that's looking to buy a camera. They want to buy the best camera, they want to buy the best lens so they can get the best pictures. We hear that a lot too as photographers. You think the best lens and the best camera is going to give you the best photos. But in reality, photography just does not work that way. You do have to learn and use your camera as much as possible, because that's the only way you're going to grow your skill in photography. I know that's kind of hard to say, but that's one of the truths too. It's one of the myths videos that I had the last time too. So if you want to watch my other videos about those 4 myths, check out that video in my channel as well. So yeah, that was my Tuesday tips. I really hoped this video helped you, especially if you're a new photographer. And if you are on a budget, don't be scared to look at the used stuff, because they are perfectly fine. As long as they're in good condition, I think they're well worth the money, especially if you're on a budget. And also let me know what kind of lenses you've got for a good deal too, because it's always amazing to hear people buy like a 45 1.8 lens for like $100, or like a 24 to 70 f2.8 lens for $200. It's amazing to hear those stories. So leave a comment below and let me know what kind of lenses you picked up for an amazing deal. I just want to say I appreciate you all watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, because it does help this channel grow, and it does help support me as well. So thanks everyone. See ya. Turned out good. Let's see. That's a nice bike, man.
Thank you. Oh yeah, look at that.
Really nice. Yeah.
You don't ever see these other cars.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I came here last week and some of them like brand new I haven't even seen. Yeah.
Come here every week, you'll see, oh, the same one. And also, a cooler night like this.
Yeah.
That's when they come.
Heck yeah. Perfect night too.
Yeah.